Hey y'all, it's your girl Stephanie. I know I've been gone for a little minute. Life has been happening and I've just been getting things together. But welcome back to the Parental Guidance Podcast. I hope everyone is doing well as usual. And today I want to discuss a tweet that I saw um, from Daquan. So basically, his tweet says some parents force their kids to tell them everything instead of allowing them the space to do so. If you'd allow them to speak free of judgment, criticism, and consequences, they'd be more open to telling you things. And the reason why I wanted to discuss this is because a few weeks ago, I was with my family at my aunt's house. And, we were all talking, having a good time, drinking, etc. Just, the usual. It was a barbecue. And somehow this came up. I guess my mom and like some of our family friends was talking about this particular thing of how like when they text their kids, like mind you, these are grown kids they have, including me, when they text their kids basically like where you at, etc., etc. And I had walked over whatever, and I was listening to what they were saying, and my brother and his friend was sitting with them, I believe. And I said something, and my mom was like, see, I told you she's the one, da, 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 da. So basically what I was explaining to my mom is this very same tweet, right? Because I feel like sometimes I love my mom, but sometimes I don't like how she goes about things. And I've said that, people that know me know that I've said that, she knows that. And the thing is with that is like, I don't mind my mom checking on me, but it's the way that she does it, you feel me? I'm 31 years old and I like freedom, right? I don't like I don't like to feel like someone is making me feel like I'm closed in or in a box or something like that. So I don't really like that. You feel me? Like sometimes it's okay, but my mom does it annoyingly. And I know she does it out of love because she really wants to know where I am. But if I wanted to tell you, I would tell you. You feel me? Like I'll be like, oh, I'm leaving the house or whatever the case may be. Then cool, but like my mom doesn't tell us where she's going. You feel me? Like she just be out. So it's like it goes both ways. And as a kid, my mom did that a lot. She still does that. She did that a lot as a kid, and I hated it because it's like, yo, you don't want me to, like, my mom was strict, so she didn't like me really hanging with my friends like that. Like it was so hard to even go to my grandmother's house with my cousins. It was ridiculous. And I feel like give your kids some type of freedom so they don't feel like they have to do things behind your back. And that's something that I practice with my daughter. Granted, she probably do stuff behind my back. Not nothing crazy. She's only 12, but you feel me? Like she feel like maybe she got to do certain things behind my back. But I told her that this, you know, daughter, mother, parent relationship is, open. Like just be open with me. Tell me like if you have a question, if you want to go somewhere. You feel me? The worst thing that can happen is your kids saying no. You feel me? Like, but I let my daughter tell me things, right? So that's something that my mom didn't allow me to do. And it not only made me feel away sometimes, but it messed my communication skills up as I was growing, because it's like, dag, like I want to tell you, but then I don't know how to tell you because you might say something, you might get mad or something like that. So that's something that really hits home for me. That tweet really hits home in so many ways, because people don't realize when you're a parent, you're already dealing with your own shit, because you're not only a parent, but you're still a human being at the end of the day. Like I always tell y'all, because of that, it can be hard for you to process things as well. And sometimes it's hard for us to be present, which is very important. You must be present at all times, right? But my whole thing is like, you want your kids to trust you, correct? You want your kids to be able to come to you and be like, oh, this happened, that happened. Oh, I feel this way, I feel that way. And I'm not gonna lie, me and my daughter is we're like in between. Like, she can come tell me stuff sometimes, and sometimes she feel like she can't. But for parents out there, like, I really suggest that you allow your kids that space to come and tell you things without you badgering them, like, oh, what's going on, da, da, da. Sometimes I do that to my daughter, I'm not gonna lie. I don't badger her, but I'm like, yo, what's going on, like, are you okay? Because I could read people's expressions and things like that and moods. So when I see her, I'm like, you okay? Like, anything going on? You want to talk? Things like that. But other than that, like, I really do allow her, just to speak. And sometimes it's hard for her. And then I tell her, like, no, you got to talk because you can't keep holding things in and things like that. And I actually did a webinar. Was it last week? No, it was the 27th. I did. I don't remember when the 27th was, but that's when I did. It was probably 2 weeks ago. A webinar that's actually on YouTube for the nonprofit that I'm, working with. About that, about like suffering in silence. It really does go back to that. To be honest with you, but back to the discussion. What I basically was saying is like, I was telling my mom like, yo, I don't mind telling you things, but guess what? You do it, and I know I don't even have. She can text me, and I know the tone of it. You feel me? Like, when you know somebody, you know somebody. So, and I was sitting there telling her, and my mom's friend, which is kind of like my aunt, whatever, Michelle. I was telling her, like, like, it becomes too much sometimes, especially as an adult. Like, you feel like, damn, like, I'm an adult. Like, why do you need to know my every single move? You feel me? So she agreed with me because she said like her daughter is just like me. Like, you have to allow them that freedom. Like, even it's different when your kids are like teenagers and young adults, etc. And there's a difference when your kids are young adults over the age of like 18. You feel me? But it's different in scenarios, not different as like, well, you got to be more harder on your little kids, than you are on your young adults. Like, no, what I'm saying is like, teenagers like to go out by themselves. You feel me? With their friends, etc. That's different. But basically, she said that she was doing the same thing, and until her daughter said something like, "Ma, like, I get that you want to know this, that, and the third, but like, you have to allow me to come to you and tell you things." You feel me? Like, it can't be on some like you constantly asking me questions and things like that. Like, no, like, I'm gonna tell you if I feel like I want to tell you. You feel me? I'm gonna tell you if I feel that can be open with you, and that's something that people need to practice with their kids. Your kids have to feel like they can be open with you, because not for nothing, we're not the only ones going through things. These kids, they go through things too, and sometimes they don't have nobody to talk to. So what better person to talk to than their own parent? But like he said, like, allow them to speak free of judgment, criticism, and consequences. Like, you can't get mad at how your kids feel. Like, you can give them different ways to deal with things. You can, teach them how to deal with those things. You can teach them how to communicate better, etc. The case may be. But you can't be out here trying to force your kids to talk. Like, that's not gonna work, because at the end of the day, they're gonna go to somebody else. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I be feeling away sometimes when my daughter goes to her dad about stuff, and why you can't tell me certain things. Like, I'm here with you. Like, if you feel a way about something I'm doing, please just tell me, because I'm that type of person. You feel me? I'm the type of person that I want you to tell me if I'm doing something that is not to your liking, especially communication wise, because I never want anybody's feelings to be hurt or any misunderstandings. But I say all this to say is that allow your kids space. Create that space for your kids to talk. Create that space for your kids to be free, because you don't want your kids growing up having communication issues, because that's what's going on a lot in these adults. They do not know how to communicate. A lot of these men don't know how to express their feelings, because they were taught like men don't cry, men don't this, men don't that, especially black men. Actually, majority is black men that have been taught this, unfortunately. And now they're having communication issues, because it's like, well, I was taught not to cry, I was taught not to this, I was taught not to that. Every time I try to express myself, I got shut down. You feel me? So you have to allow that time, that space, so that way we're creating better human beings. Not really creating, but we are creating that dialogue, that communication, for them to be open. We're creating that space that they need to express their feelings. Like my daughter's father, when we first was together, he could express himself in different ways, but with different people. But when it came to certain people and certain situations, he could not express himself. And I had to tell him, like, yo, you holding a lot of anger and you holding in this, that, and the third. You gotta talk, right? So that's really what I wanted to discuss. And if y'all have anything to say, any topics or whatever the case may be, y'all can hit my IG up at the thickener, and send me a DM. Let me know what y'all want to discuss. If somebody wants to come on and talk about, whatever they want to talk about in regards to like parenting or their experiences as a child with their parent, I'm open to that. I do want to start having guests on here soon. I'm about to get surgery next month, so I will be preparing for that and dropping episodes here and there. It's supposed to be bi-weekly, so I will be doing that, getting back to doing that rather. And, again, create those spaces, be true to yourself, be kind to each other, be kind to your kids. And let me know whatever y'all need, whatever y'all think, whatever the case may be. And I just want to share one actually before I go. So, yesterday, I got a shout out from Ed Lover. Y'all know that I make hair and skincare products. My business called Natural Napes. And last week, I believe, last week it was, yeah, me and my mom was driving, and I heard him say, like, oh, if you're a minority small business, DM me so I could give you a shout out. And I was like, oh, I was quick on it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, cool, boom. I sent him the DM, right? And yesterday, I was driving me and my daughter home from gymnastics, and I heard him read the first part of my DM, but I'm like, nah. Then I heard my name, then I heard my business, and then he read the whole thing, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, it's only by God that I'm in the car again, and I don't even listen to that station really. I'm in the car again, and God put me in a position to hear it. When I tell you, it's like when your song, like when you hear your song on the radio for the first time, it was so overwhelming. I was just so excited. I turned the radio up and I was screaming. My daughter was like, "Why are you so loud?" And I was just like, "This is just so exciting." But I just wanted to share that with y'all, and I hope y'all have a great day.